very, very effective. You are our letter, having been inscribed in our hearts, being known and read by all men. That's a great line. You are our letter, inscribed in our hearts. We don't need written things. Now watch how he uses that line to then attack the Ten Commandments. This guy is so capable that it's no wonder most people have fallen under his spell. You are our letter, having been inscribed in our hearts. My wife's Christian background, and she reads him. She's from England, and she hates him. Not from my influence. She just doesn't like people who talk like this, and she's a Christian background person, a very caring Christian background person. But most people who get into this fall under the spell. It just depends what kind of person. If you like this kind of approach, or you don't. And most parishioners don't even read it, so they don't even count in this discussion.
Is this from Pseudo-Clementine?
No, this is 2 Corinthians 3. It's right there, right at the beginning of chapter 3. No, I haven't read any Pseudo-Clementine. Go back to 2. 3, there it is. Do we begin to recommend ourselves? Showing that you are Christ's letter. You see, this is great. How should we put allegorization? And then in the process, wiping the whole thing about letters off the map. All letters. But this shows you that there were letters. That's what I want to show you. There were letters. And some people had them, some people didn't, some people wish to ignore them. Maybe they should have, maybe they shouldn't have. That's your decision to make. I can't tell you what you should finally conclude. All I can do is set up things that you've never maybe been confronted with or thought very extensively about. And there's Paul's answering me outside. Okay, showing you our Christ letters served by us, not by written ink. We don't have letters written in ink, but with the Spirit of the living God. Again, allegorization after allegorization. Not on tablets of stone. So now he's extending it to what? Not on tablets of stone. What was supposed to be in the temple, originally in the Jewish temple? 2 tablets written on stones. And now he's extending the attack on written letters. That's how his mind works, very agilely. If you're, how many are in the speech department here? And are into debate and, what do you call the debate? These are very dialectic. Lawyers learn these kind of techniques for courtroom usage to argue both sides of the case and so on. But if you're into dialectic and rhetoric and this kind of thing, and this is just one point, then you'll be able to see how able he is at this. But you also might see that this is illegitimate. This logic is not a logic. It is an illegitimate logic because it just goes where he wants to take it, but it doesn't have any actual factual basis, only in his doctrinal idea of spiritualizing things. Yeah, what's your point?
I'm just wondering, isn't it talking about putting away the superfluous activities of holiness that rather than the belief of Christ,
everything is
salvation,
everything is directed against the most holy people.
All those,
Well, look, the point is that his thing is against the Hebrew holiness. I mean, that's the whole thing. But suppose you're back in Jerusalem and you are a member of the holy ones. The Dead Sea Scrolls are the holy ones, the God's saints in the desert, John the Baptist, all the other ones. So this is an attack on the whole culture of Palestine. And as this gentleman was saying back then, sure, I mean, as a minister or a preacher, you can get up there and the crowd loves it. Oh, those holier than thou people, and so on. Sure, but this is the first step. This is not that attack at the moment. This is the first step. What you're doing now is attacking the 10 Commandments. Watch how he does it. But with the Spirit of the not on tablets of stone, takes the written credential thing. So far, he's not attacking holiness. He's attacking written credentials that he doesn't obviously have. And people say, why don't you have? And he say, because I don't need them, because you're my credential, because I'm a great teacher and I'm a great, proselytizer, and I run harder and I go further and I suffer more, and that's my letter. What's yours, man? But he extends it, not on tablets of stone, but on the fleshy tablets of the heart. We have such trust through Christ towards God, not that we are able ourselves to judge anything as of ourselves, but our ability to judge as of God, who has made us able ministers of the new covenant. Now we have found the Dead Sea Scrolls that speak of the new covenant that was raised in the land of Damascus. That's the central thing in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is why I ranged the Dead Sea Scrolls in my new book, that's what the whole book is about, against his position. Because both are talking about the new covenant. But theirs is a rededication to holiness. It literally says in the Damascus document, if you read the materials and just don't go by sermons, to separate the holy things, and to separate holy from profane, to raise up the holy things according to their precise specifications. That's what the new covenant in the land of Damascus is. You say, well, Damascus, that's not this one here. Well, as it turns out, I think the two are talking about the same thing. So now he already goes, we are servants of the new covenant, but not like those servants over there. They call themselves servants of righteousness, servants of the new covenant. He knows about those people. We're not of the letter. They're of the letter, but we're of the Spirit. That's the whole thing about we are sons of the Spirit. We are sons of Sarah. They're just sons of Hagar, and so on and so forth. Throw out the slave woman. They're slaves to the letter. All of the logic we get here, if you're presented by someone like me anyway, is consistent. The problem is most of the world has only heard it from supporters of him. I bet you that there's only 5 people in the history of the whole Western world who have presented it from, people who are against his position. And the only reason that I'm against his position is I know the Dead Sea Scroll position, and I think their position is more honest. And that's why, and without the scrolls, I could never have done this. I could never have taken the position I think, if I would have had to follow him. This must be correct, this must be Jesus. Now I don't think it is. Anyway, let me finish this, to show you how he moves with his logic. Who has made us able ministers of the new covenant, not of the letter, but of the Spirit. For the letter kills, you see? What is the Jewish law? And I'm not arguing for the law, I don't observe the law, so I don't have a truck in it. Except to straighten out what people then thought. Okay, what is he saying that the Mosaic law does? Because he is now starting to attack the 10 Commandments. The letter kills. That doesn't bring life. That doesn't bring resurrection. That doesn't bring what you're looking for. But the Spirit, the Greek Neoplatonic spirit, which I represent, Neoplatonism, mysticism, that brings